There's an emerging one potentially, UMC, because at the same rally where you spoke and President Barrow spoke, Hamad was quoted. I wasn't there, so I read the papers the next day, and Hamad was quoted as saying, UMC is the NPP's biggest threat.
I disagree with Ahmad, and for the first time. I disagree with him for the first time.
Okay.
How can a movement that is not even registered, that is not even a political party, that could not even fill Semegajane Hall?
Cannot fill the Semegajane
No,
Hall?
they had a meeting the day we were in Sukuta and Semegajane Hall had a meeting. They couldn't even fill it.
You were not there to establish.
But I saw
that
the
they couldn't
pictures.
fill.
I saw the video. You were not at Sukuta, but you accept there was a massive crowd. But you are not there. I don't have to be in Semega to know that the hall was half full. How can that be a threat? A movement whose leader has been tested and failed. Now, tell me one significant development that has transformed KM under the leadership of this boy in 8 years.
Waste management. It's a lot better today.
It's even worse today.
Worse?
Of course. Nothing has changed in waste management. The trucks is one of the most farcical projects in this country. In history. Of course. Is this the Mbalit project? It has failed. It has failed. Let them do an evaluation of the project and publish the evaluation report.
What will they find?
They'll find that it has failed. There was no value for money. And we are charging people for the Mbalit to pay for the project, which was overpriced and which has failed. So you cannot, let's assume for the sake of assumption that the Mbalit project is what was done. 8 years, you cannot tell me anything about from the Mbalit project. What else? What? 8 years. And came with all its resources, with all its potential. What has been done? Apart from painting outside KMC and putting some few flowers. What has been done in KM in 8 years? Now, to add insult to injury, this is a boy whose inner core.
Who?
The boy of UMC.
Who?
The boy.
Who?
I don't know, the boy. Whose inner core? Whose inner core? Whose potential cabinet?
For the first time, I'm hearing Dr. Ceesay being afraid of naming.
I'm not afraid of naming.
Yeah. So who is this?
Talib Ahmed Bensouda.
Okay.
Whose inner core and whose potential cabinet is composed of people who are itinerant and nomadic politicians with no background whatsoever in anything. They have no CV, in fact. Of boys who have tried for 10 years and they could not finish a simple UTG program. For 10 years. Well, unprecedented.
This is an obvious repetition of
the
alleged attack you made on Kemo Bojang.
It's not an attack. I'm telling you that if you want us to entrust you with our country, it's serious business. We need to test you. We need to know exactly what your capacity is. You cannot tell me that you cannot finish a simple degree program in 10 years, that you can run a country.
A lot of people have argued why, it would take somebody.
I know why.
Why it would take me longer than you, for instance.
No, what I'm saying is that.
And KMO could have just
there is no excuse.
Gone through the same circumstances.
Listen, there is no excuse. For 10 years, there is no excuse.
So what's your explanation? He just cannot pass exams.
Well, I don't want to go into the detail. What I can tell you is that you cannot do in fact, I don't want to focus on that, Peter, because that's I'm taking myself I don't want to go there. What I'm saying is that let's focus on the thing. An inner core whose potential cabinet is someone who could not finish a graduate degree in 10 years. How can he be given a cabinet portfolio? Someone who, it means that he cannot get the job done. Someone who is an itinerant politician with whatsoever no history of a work anywhere in his entire life. And someone in the diaspora who is a former escort girl as one of his core team members. And who else? It's over. You want us to give our country to such a boy? You want us to sleepwalk into disaster? Someone who politics is mostly supported by capitalist businesses whose only interest is to milk this country.
What's your evidence about that?
I know, because we're in the field. We're in the field. Like I once said here before, that giving our country to this boy, meaning we are turning this country into a country which is run by businesses, a dynasty. Because the boy's entire family are all business engaged, from construction to car sale to IT.
That's not a crime.
It's not a crime.
I wish my family, was this blessed.
Yeah, but giving a country, it's dangerous to give a country to such people whose only interest is to expand their business activities. That's their only interest. They have no solution for this country. We cannot give our country to such people. People who cannot even relate with the ordinary Gambian.
How do you mean?
I know. They cannot relate to the ordinary Gambian. They don't know the travails and the...
Talib tells you every day that, he interacts with people from all walks of life. He has the support of people from all walks of life.
Ask him before 2017 whether he even passed, he even went to as far as Brikama.
Before when?
Before 2017. He even went as far as Brikama. He didn't care about Brikama. He didn't want to know. See,
he was not in politics.
I even heard Esa yesterday say something which is funny, that Mansa Ramadan de Ganjago. Ramadan la Ganjago. Mansa de Kona provinces. Because you are in politics, you want to impress, to get those votes, and then Ramadan. Esa Ramadan de Ganjago. Follow good. Mansa Suma Jago mo gena sebu Esa.
Dafa ne mom Jago ye ma.
Dede mu ne mom dafa dan de Ganjago. No dama si tape si.
Wa okay, wa dégg na mu ne mom dafa
musut mané musta de Ganjago.
Yo lo dégg ci Njago te nga ne yo de Ganjago.
Man bu senti gome suma xarit dama da kiti. Fofu la daan spele Christmas. So man xam naa lu ma ba pare moom mu ngi boss ne papaam teacher la. My mother was a teacher for 40 years. Amul school boom headmaster would si dëkk bi. So what's the issue with suma you defal yow ñu gis looy def. I'm not man musuma wax suma parents yi luñ def. My father built all the forests in this country. Moo tax ñu ko woowee Ceesay forest. There is no place in this fuñ ko xamut. From Brikama Nyambai forest, big fu Gambia any forest moo ko sampa moo ko build.
So moom papa moo build woof yi.
mu ne moo build bridges yi tamit.
ak waaf yi ak yëpp.
mu ne ak bridges yi.
so papa moo build forest.
mu ne papa moo build state house.
ku nekk
papa moo build.
ku nekk ñëwal wax sa papa li.
non bëgguñ ko wax waaye dama laa wax ne what was the point of him making those things. Nit ku nekk liggéeyal yow luñ laa wax si yow. man lu ñëw wax si man.
liggéey coow ci moom TRRC liggéey bu rafet bi def TRRC.
mais ban liggéey bu rafet la fa def.
donc
ban liggéey bu rafet la fa def xanaa nekka foofu noonu di promote this political agenda di TRRC ku fa ñëw mu saaga la mu demean la mu humiliate la. That's what he was doing. He was insulting imam, demeaning people just to promote his political agenda, building himself. Man lu ma def UTG at the university that gave me who I am today, because man dama dëkk Europe 20 something years. Man musuma am scholarship in my entire life. Man kenn musuma fayal school fees. Man bi PG I paid for myself. And when I finished, I had chances to stay man dama ñib si Gambia because suma knowledge su fekkee ne mënut a njëriñ suma réew kon suma knowledge bi is useless. moo dama ñib si.
wax nga mbiri ñib si am na ko bëgg a ñib si waaye ñib seem daf leen tiital yéen.
si naka.
muy former président bi.
xam nga man sax dama dee wax mbiri yaa jàpp because na ñib si.
lu tax
président Barrow mu ne si xam nga la président Barrow wax.
déedéet.
mu ne tàggatoo bu yàgga. dafa may borom buuta dem. maa ngi dem si sax yaa ngi toog rek maa ngi ne loo dem xam nga moo tax man we don't want to we are not as a government responding discussing this issue dafa bëgg ñu na ñëw then we can now discuss.
su ñëwee luy xew.
na ñëw rek.
mu ne tey di ngeen jot leetaram ndax démb la woon di ngeen jot leetaram buy wonee nangute bi amoon digganteem ak yéen ñu ne Halifa Sallah moo signoon ci seen tur yéen ci coalition bi ECOWAS foog naa ak United Nations.
Peter na ñëw bala leeta bul yónnee leeta na moom mu ñëw waxal ñu ko ak si gémmiñam bi foog naa mooy gën a easy dan leeta.
wala saa yu jaamee ekkatee kaadoom rek ñu ne nguur gi daf dee tiit.
billaahi wallaahi nguur gi du tiit pour lan ko xam ne nekkatul président nekkatul si dëkk bi sax moom kenn mu ngi dëkk Equatorial Guinée moom kenn kondong moo fa dëkk amatul dara lu ñëw tiit si kooku. yaa jàmme su ko neexee su dee digga daf ko ñor dafa bëgg a ñëw na ñëw kenn téyewu ko airport baa ngi na ñëw.
déedéet yéen a ne su ñëwee da ngeen koo jàpp.
non déedéet dama laa wax ne na ñëw rek.
ba pare
Nga mo la wanting fana duma wasi mbir inga ya jame so de monte nga fekk ko ci kolal bi nga ne ko jam dañu dem Gambia dat du jog ci kolal bi dina teda be xamne fo ma nañ demi Gambia ci la mo jog jame du fi ñew
so dafa tikku Adama Barrow ni rek
dafa
mu ne su ñe dinañ xam kanam mom rew mi
Gambians ci ñom mom rew mi ke mo rew mi the Gambians own this country victims yaa ngi nii fii xam nga ñu dee even talk di amplify jàmme mbiram sax you are insulting the victims ba léegi they have not healed yet ak li mu def si dëkk bi yëpp it seems like ñun we forget too quickly ñun Gambians yi ak luñ fi jaajame def yëpp saaga ñu xas ñu rey ñu dóor ñu disappear ñu ngi wax ne kooku ñu ngi ko biram léegi bi la faa ñëw fu moo ñëw fan
Gambia na
na ñëw ko da am na passeport na ñëw
ne suñu wé alelam bi ngeen kasara
nañu
su boba dina digalé gi
let him come we are waiting for that let's go to the next issue
yeah, let's talk about TRRC implementation because that's also an issue that's exercising the minds of many people, the government's political will to implement the findings of the TRRC, the recommendations in other words.
But we have the political will is there and we are doing it. Out of 260 something recommendations.
There's a white paper, but
what I'm saying is that, Peter, the TRRC recommendations implementation is not a destination. Some of them has to do with building institutions, strengthening institutions. We have completed over 50 recommendations. Over around 100 and something are under implementation. It's a process because it has to do with resources, with human capacity and so on and so forth. Some things take time. We've implemented. We've set up a reparations commission. We've supported Switzerland to try Sonko, Germany to try Bialo, America to try Korea. We've implemented at least 50. Some of them has to do with education sector, for example, in terms of how to make sure that education sector instill certain values. So these are not like, it's not like they are end recommendations. It's a process. We are doing it. It has to do with resources as well. It costs money to implement these 260 recommendations. And in fact, there is consensus among all international partners that we've had one of the most successful transitions in Africa compared to South Africa, Liberia, Ghana, and Rwanda. And we are now implementing recommendations one by one. Some of them can take 10 years. Rwanda was before us. They are still implementing some of the recommendations. Ghana was, they are still implementing some of the recommendations. Sometimes they are complex. They are not like you wake up in the morning and recommend. No. The government is serious and is committed. We have no reason. Why shouldn't we? Why? What do we gain from that?
Good question. We'll answer one day. Dr. Ismaila Ceesay is the Gambia's Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services. He is with us this morning. He made a good point that Esambai Fall had 2 hours yesterday. I'm going to make sure that he also has nothing less than 2 hours, unless for whatever reason he wants to leave now. But otherwise, I'm going to some of the questions received. Can the Minister please repeat what he said, that from 1956 to 2016, only 195 meters of electricity were created? Did I hear him right?
Let me get the figure.
Yeah. 195 only, you said.
Yes, from 1956
to 2016.
195, 244 total meters were connected.
195.
244 meters were connected.
Okay, all right. On the road statistics too, did I hear him right? 855 kilometers as against 1,201 kilometers. Ask him if he has ever heard of the term strategic infrastructural asset management. Before you go to that, can you just confirm those figures again?
Yes, so what happened is that from 65 to 2016, 855 kilometers of new roads, including rural, feeder, and urban roads were built.
Okay.
That is 36% of current road network. 2017 to date, 1,201 kilometers of new roads
so
constructed.
You stand by those figures?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever heard of the term strategic infrastructural asset management?
Well, it's not my domain, so perhaps I might not have heard. But going by how it sounded, I think I have an idea what it is about. Okay.
And the person goes on to say, and what is his government doing about this in view of their focus on infrastructural development? Maybe this is for Sila then to help you out.
It's a technical question.
Okay, all right. I hope Sila is is listening. Good morning, Peter. This guy is very unfair. He doesn't give credit to his opponents where credit is due. He downplayed Talib's achievements in the Mbalit project, and now he doesn't want to acknowledge the good work SR did for the TRRC.
Well, what did SR do? He was paid to do a job. He did a job, and that's... Why should we praise him for that? Why? He wasn't doing it for free. He was paid. And in fact, he did not even complete it. He was in a rush to finish it to go do politics. And for me, if he had not put politics in his work, I would have praised him. But he politicized his work. In fact, he was forcing them to finish the report so he can go and do his politics.
When did you realize that he had begun politicizing his work?
From the onset.
It's not after he declared his intention to run in 2020.
From the moment,
which, by the way, happened after he had left.
From the moment he was sitting on that chair, I knew this guy was He was politicizing his work.
Did you advise anybody?
No, it's not my job to do that. Like, I'm a political analyst, and I studied body language and communications. He was building himself, preparing for politics using that platform, and it backfired because he got only 1%.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Gomez. This person is obviously writing to us from East Africa, Nairobi to be precise. ML, he's a regular contributor. Good afternoon, Mr. Gomez and the Honorable Minister. With the current high cost of living, high cost of renting, the value of the money going down so much, and the list goes on, I don't think it is right for the government to increase its budget. Politicians will always be politicians, and we, the spectators, are happily listening. Kudos from ML.
What do you mean increase? What do you mean increase budget?
Well, the budget of this year is bigger than the budget of last year.
Why?
The figures.
Okay.
The figures
let me just.
So what's the justification?
Let me give a layman's explanation to this. If you have a household.
Yes.
And last year you had 10 people in the family to feed, and a few renovations to do, and your budget for the household is $100. And this year you have 15 people to feed, and more investments. You want to do your landscaping now. You want to now change your toilets because they are now outdated. You want to buy new chairs. You want to do this. Your budget will go up. I think we should celebrate that. That's an improvement if budgets go up. It means that the country now, the economy is expanding. That's not bad. That's a plus. That's a positive. It means our economy is growing. It means that we are doing more investments in critical sectors, and it means that we are getting more revenue. But it also means that we are responding to demographic dynamics because our demography is expanding. Population growth is happening. Our urban areas are facing pressures because now 60% of the population live in urban Gambia. What that means is that we need more security in urban Gambia. We have to invest in security, more police officers, more police stations for visibility. We have to invest in road infrastructure, feeder roads, so there could be no congestion, traffic congestion. I was just in Senegal recently. I was recently from other African countries.
What happened in Senegal? What's your experience there?
Traffic everywhere.
Senegal with all the
traffic everywhere. And when I told the party, I was like, I haven't seen this for a long time. This kind of traffic. We are building feeder roads everywhere to ease congestion and connect our communities. So we are investing in water. You want us to invest in these things, yet you are telling us don't increase your budget. How do we invest in it? The most important thing is we're able to pay for it without taking big loans. So we should say kudos to the government that out of the 59 billion, almost 35 billion is locally sourced.
Morning, Peter and the Honorable Minister. The Sukuta meeting was really a disaster. How can you assemble a whole community and all you do is attack fellow politicians the whole meeting? No plans for their development and how to take their problems. So what did you give to the people of Sukuta apart from, according to this texter, attacking your opponents, your political
We did not
opponents?
attack our opponents. We defended.
So what did you give to
We
the
responded
people? What did you give to the people of Sukuta?
We told them what the government is doing to improve their lives so they can live in dignity. If you listen to my speech has two parts. One part was telling the people of Sukuta what the government has done to ensure that their children go to school, that they have access to clean water, that they are secured in their communities, that they have electricity. My speech focused on that. And the president's speech also focused on making sure that he reassures the people of Sukuta and the entire Gambian people that his government is ready to continue the work he has started doing. That was the message. But those messages disappear when you deal with the opposition that is not honest, because they just focus on the negative. So they can attack, but we cannot respond. Even a game of football, you attack, you defend. You attack, you defend. That's it. That's politics. We'll defend our policies and explain to the Gambians what our policies are, but also when we get unnecessary and vicious attacks from other politicians just because of politics, we'll respond in kind.
Okay. Let him tell us what's being done with the allegations coming from the audit reports.
What are those allegations specifically?
Well, the monies that OP couldn't account for and all other
See,
ministries.
I've said this before. Audit reports are complex. You need to understand auditing before you even talk about money disappearing. Like I said, Peter, audit reports are professional opinions. They're not in themselves final conclusions of what is happening. Audit reports ensure compliance and that due process is followed in the procurement of goods and services by government. Now, where there are weaknesses and lapses, one of the things is to ensure that these are rectified. But audit reports can also find that paperwork was missing for particular things, and the way they interpret it can mean differently. That is why it's not enough for you to take audit reports as evidence to court to try people for corruption. That is why where there is suspicion of fraud, you take it to the police, which is a competent authority, to do investigations. That what the audit report is saying is it through investigate. And investigation will tell us exactly whether there is enough evidence of fraud, of malfeasance, to be enough to go to court for prosecution. It's a process. You cannot just come and tell me that Peter said that he bought a teacup for $50. But when we come to Peter's office, there was no teacup, but there was also no delivery note. It means Peter has stole the money. No, there could be many reasons why the teacup is not there. Many reasons why the delivery note is not there. It has to take further investigation to ascertain whether Peter indeed ate the money and not buy the teacup. So you cannot just stop at the audit report and say, take people to mile 2. This is what we fought against here. Under Jame, there wasn't even any need for audit report. Just suspicion. You go to mile 2 straight. We are in a democracy. We must let due process work in this country and let the 3 branches of government do their work. Audit is under the executive branch of government. Let them do their work, and then they take it to National Assembly, they scrutinize it, where there's prosecute, they prosecute, then we see how it ends.
Good morning, Uncle Peter. Please, can you tell Dr. Ceesay to verify information before coming to the public? Because the State Guard is under the Ministry of Defense and their salary comes from the ministry.
The State Guard is under the Ministry of Defense, but their logistical, their logistics support is from the Office of the President's budget.
So it's not salary from the...
Their salary, I'm not sure where it comes from. What I'm saying is that the State Guard's logistics, their food, their feeding, everything is from the OP's budget. So it's not like I'm saying that their salary comes from there. What I'm saying is that their logistical expenditures are from Office of the President.
Somebody says, please, Uncle Peter, tell the Honorable Minister that we are interested in having quality electricity supply than unnecessary expansion that cannot be managed.
But there's quality electricity supply. Yes, there are challenges, and these challenges are partly it can be explained by rapid expansion. Like I said, 60% of the population live in urban Gambia. If the transform, so we're investing in it.
Are we expanding?
We're
too
expanding.
Too fast for now.
But you need to match population growth. You need to match population demand. Remember, before the president came to power, there has never been any significant investment in our national grid. It was outdated. In fact, it was what they call, it was causing systemic loss. That is, if you put 100 megawatts into the grid, through the transition and distribution, before it reaches your home, we lose almost 20%.
That's what was happening.
But now through donor support, we've invested in the grid and modernized it, so that system loss is reduced. These are investments. You see, let me tell you something, Peter. Most of the challenges we are facing today are inherited. Development planning is long-term. Governments that are serious look at certain dynamics around them, for example, demography, and say, look, our population is growing. This was happening. We need to nothing was done. The president has 3 tasks, and I've always argued. 1 is to ensure a safe transition. 2 is to ensure that he meets the needs of Gambians today, because Gambians are not waiting. And they're not accepting any excuses. That is why people are saying we want this, we want that. He needs to meet it today. But remember, the president also has a responsibility to build a Gambia for future generations. So when they come, they wouldn't face the same problems. I don't want my children to wake up in a Gambia where there's no electricity. And the president is changing that, and they will not. I don't want them to grow up in a country where there's no water. No, the president is changing that. So the next government that comes, your job is easy, is to focus on some other stuff.